Hey, hi, I'm Mona, and if you're here, you found Kaleidoscope Dreams Tarot. It's time for another reading. Just going to start out here with a general energy card, okay? These are all pre-shuffled. General energy for today's reading is Three of Swords. Someone's heartbroken, darn, right? Happens a lot. A lot of people heartbroken over several different things. It could be anything. It could be a loss of a loved one, loss of a relationship, something didn't work out in your favor. What else am I getting? Maybe friends you thought you were friends with, they're not really your friends. People not on your team. I mean, there's so many things that somebody can be heartbroken over, right? Now, that's a 50-50 card, so that's also telling me that somebody is getting over a heartbreak, right? When it's in the reverse, somebody's getting over it, right? So some people out there are still in heartbreak, and some people out there are trying to get over it, right? And that might take a little time, but at least you're making an active, conscious effort to try to get over it. And that's important. So let's go ahead and get 5 cards to start out with. This is the Santa Muerte Tarot. I didn't mention that, okay? And then we'll be clarifying with the Bicycle Elements Fire deck, okay? If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I hope everything's going okay with you. If you're here, it means that you're looking for some advice, and I appreciate you, coming here to see if I have anything for you. But I hope you're doing well nonetheless. If you're new here, I hope that you're doing okay, because obviously if you're here, you're looking for answers. Now, you're not going to find all your answers here, but maybe I have a little advice. I don't know. I'm here to help, and that's it. Okay? If you like the way I read, you can subscribe, like, comment, and share. But you don't have to, because either way, I'm still going to be here tomorrow trying to do my best to help anyone I can. Okay? So, yeah, let's get 3 more cards. Okay, we still need 1 more. All right. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the 2 of Cups. So you're trying to get over some sort of heartbreak, 2 of Cups is a sharing of emotions. You shared some deep emotions with somebody. You loved somebody, And like I said, it can be any situation. Friend group, romantic relationship, family, friendships, something or a situation that you shared a lot of emotions, and somebody broke your heart, right? It's kind of like they put that knife in your back and they twisted it, right? Because that's kind of like what it looks like right there. Darn, it's kind of, kind of a crazy picture, but that's what happened. And then, of course, in the reverse, losing those emotions for whatever the situation is. So like I said, you're going through something. Somebody hurt you, okay? This is a common story, right? And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened to you. But eventually you'll just have to, move on, right? Don't let this sadness or depression or anxiety lead you to things or people, places, and things that are going to hurt you even more, right? The best thing to do is to go within, be by yourself. Think about things. Think about the pros and the cons of this situation and, try to move beyond it. Because, for example, if you had a good friend and they were heartbroken, right? And you saw whatever happened to you happen to them, you would be trying to tell them, oh, come on, get over it. You can move on. And this person was not good for you or whatever, right? Whatever they're saying, right? It's, and that's nice of you to go to them and try to comfort them like that, But even though you're telling this to your buddy, I mean, don't you think you should follow that advice too? It's so easy for us to tell our friends like bad things that we see, and we tell them because we care about them and we want them to know. But What about you? What about you? You know? And if you don't have anybody telling you anything, I'm telling you, that person probably wasn't good for you. And you don't want to sit in that energy, because it's you're being robbed. You're being robbed of energy. You're being robbed of opportunities. You don't want that, you know? Um, it's time for you to start thinking about loving yourself, right? Because if you're this heartbroken, I'm kind of feeling that somebody out there was loving someone more than they actually love themselves. And, it's important for you to love yourself, right? To love who you are, to love yourself enough to get healthy and happy and be in a good mindset, right? And I'm always saying this because I'm a big advocate for it, but I feel like some people out there, they get so upset, they want to go have a drink or something, right? Or maybe do some drug because they don't want to think about, well, that's not going to help you. It's like a momentary thing that will take your mind off of whatever's bothering you. But sometimes, when you see somebody who's sad over something and they get all drunk, and then you see them all emotional while they're drunk, and then it's just a bad scene, and then they jump in their car, and then car accident or whatever, DUI, under the influence, whatever. Like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. The best thing to do is to just get better and move on. I read somewhere that, I'm sorry, I'm just thinking of this stuff and it might help. I don't know. But I read somewhere that we have like 3 true loves in our lifetime, right? People that, like we date, whatever, but there's 3 in our lifetime that are significant, right? And if you hit that 3rd one, well, maybe it's not for you. And hopefully by this time, you might be a person that's kind of up there in age. If you are young, you have time. Now, if you're dating too many people, it's going to be really hard for you to find out who the real one is. If you're like, oh, I just want to play the field and go here and go there, you're never going to know who is your person, because you're kind of disrespecting yourself and your body by doing that, right? Because when you take on other people's energies through contact of any sort, you take on their energies, and sometimes those energies aren't very good. So, you can look something like that up. I saw this a long time ago, but you can look it up and, think about that for a second, Save your energy for yourself. Because the right one maybe will come along one day. Maybe not. It just depends on how you feel about this. In these days, nobody really wants to get together with anybody because it's kind of weird stuff going on, right? And if that's how you feel about the situation, it's okay. Focus on yourself. Focus on your health. Focus on being happy for yourself, So the first card we have out, we have the 6 of Pentacles, right? And the 6 of Pentacles is about giving to 2. So either you were really busy in a situation and you had to take care of other things at the same time, possibly working yourself to death, right? Either that's your energy, or you were with someone, that person who broke your heart, who is dealing with 2 or 3 or 4. You never know. Somebody could be wearing themselves thin around town. Who knows? So these are the 2 options we have here. Now, we have the 5 of Cups here, and the 5 of Cups is about being sad over the loss of the relationship. There you have it, right? It basically told us everything on that first card and whatever was at the bottom of the deck. So now I know what we have here. Somebody's just sad because it's over. So this, it's over. You're going to find something better. Now you can finally focus on yourself and find your own happiness, right? Now, if you're that person that you can't stand being alone, I kind of used to be like that for just a short amount of time. But then I realized throughout my whole life, even though I was around a lot of people, I was still lonely. Like, it came to me one day and I was like, you know what? I can just enjoy myself by myself, right? Enjoy my own company, right? And it happened and I enjoy it. It came along and I do enjoy it. And I basically have the time of my life, to be quite honest with you. I traveled the United States so many times in 4 years because I focused on myself and I loved myself and I found happiness myself. Well, and my 2 dogs, of course. So maybe it's time that you figured out how to love yourself and pull that energy of emotions away from that past relationship, whether it's friends, family, inner circle, whatever, romantic, it doesn't matter, and start focusing on yourself. It's better that way. Because when you're better, then you will attract in better people. So if you were a person in the past who you weren't really, focusing on yourself or thinking about yourself and your happiness and joy, that's possibly why you had to go through this, because you're being shown that you should love yourself first. Because you know what they say. If you can't love yourself, how can you love anyone else? So if you didn't love yourself, you were probably attracting people that don't love themselves either, right? They don't take care of their health. They sleep around, they drink, they do drugs, whatever they're doing. You were attracting the wrong people. People that don't care about themselves or their life. Why? Because maybe you didn't at that time. If you can love yourself and enjoy your own company and be on your own, then you're set for life, basically. You don't have to depend on anyone. Being codependent, right? What does that sound like? Devil energy, right? So in the end, here we have the 2 of Swords. And you know what? This is such a good card to get. The card decks you get, they will give you little messages, right? It's a pair of scissors. And we know that the 2 of Swords is a card about making a decision. But look at the picture. Scissors. And the decision is, are you going to cut this off? It's time to cut this off. But you have to make the choice to do so. You can do it. Obstacle or advice, we have the 5 of Pentacles, being left out in the cold. So yes, you are worried about being left out in the cold. So you could be somebody that has to have all eyes on me, or, you don't like being alone. You want to go to the party. You want to go here. You want to be social. And that's what you're worried about. Being left out in the cold. Oh, if I don't do this or that, no one will like me. But look at this card now. I never noticed this before. You see how there's somebody being left out. The 5 of Pentacles is about being left out in the cold. You see someone's feet. It's like they're walking away. It's time for you, the advice here, this would be the advice, would be that it's time to walk away. Right? Walk away from, all these fakes. I'm feeling fakes. You're around a bunch of fake people that just want to be noticed, and the bigger the crowd, the more popular that's not always the case. It's usually fake. You know what I mean? There's usually something in mind of why people gather in groups, because people go, the group is better. Being, there's strength in crowds. Well, yeah, there is in some cases. But when it comes to personal life and relationship like that, if you're trying to be popular like that and there's no substance behind it, it's better to just walk away from it. You know, I used to want to be around people. I used to go to the parties and all this thing and that, and feeling like, oh, people know me. But you know what? It came to the point where I was like, ooh, I don't want this. I don't like this. Kind of like why I don't, promote the channel or anything. Like, I don't tell anyone around me that that I do this. I've been on the road doing it for years already. I study all kinds of stuff, esoteric, religion, whatever, you name it, I'm studying it, right? And that's why I do tarot differently than a lot of other people, because I studied it. And I did it alone. And that right there was confidence. That was a good feeling. It's not almost, it's even better than being noticed by anyone because I have the knowledge, right? And the few people I did bring this up to while I was on the road, it was like they looked at tarot as, oh, this is messages from God. And I used to do that because I used to think it was that, but it's not messages from God. It's not messages from, it's chance. It's a game of chance, And over the years, this kind of story just cycles over and over and over again. And that's what I've noticed. The same stories come out every so often because that's how these cards are made. You know what I mean? But it's just by luck that somebody could find this reading and be like, oh, I think the subscribers I have, they understand. That's why they stick around, But there's, at one time when I realized this and understood this, I lost a lot of subscribers when I explained it, but that's okay because I'm here to help people, right? I'm not here to take from you or lead you in the wrong direction or, fight about the karmic and that they're suffering. No, I'm reading you a story and just trying to give you advice or the best thing to do to help you get better. So I do see somebody here walking away, feeling left out in the cold. People probably did that to you because, another thing I'm thinking is you might be feeling left out in the cold because maybe the person you were with had a lot of friends. And because you were with them, you became some sort of something, popular, whatever, right? But now that you broke up with them, now you don't have any friends. And that right there is telling me that whoever you were with was trying to control you and your life. Because you shouldn't have had to give up any of your friends for them. And that's toxic. Right? Only being friends with the person's friends, but you can't have friends. I was in a marriage like that. Yeah. And I was married to a really toxic, weird person, narcissistic, abusive, physically, mentally, financially. Yeah. But I thought it was all good, but it wasn't. It wasn't. But I didn't know until later after I went through the healing process and then I finally realized, oh my God, it was an abusive relationship. How could I have been so dumb? It's okay. We all go through some shit like that. It's okay. People don't like to talk about that because they feel embarrassed. I got cheated on. I was lied to. I was used. Yes, it's embarrassing, but it happens at least once, twice, 3 times, shoot, maybe more in everybody's lifetime. You shouldn't be embarrassed. You should be happy and grateful that you learned this lesson. It's a blessing, right? Because now you understand what's going on. I'm sorry that happened to you. But at least you know now, right? At least you know now. And then in the end, we have the Ace of Pentacles. See? This is like a brand new start. Not only your finances, but being balanced and grounded, This is headed towards longevity, legacy, a new start. Being, the person that you were meant to be. That pentacle, that going coin, one with the earth, right? So you got to start somewhere, and the Ace of Pentacles is a perfect place to start. New beginning after some heartbreak and tragedy over whatever it is, right? Romantic, friendship, even family, right? Some toxic families out there. I come from a toxic family too. But all we can do is just kind of realize what's really going on and stand up for ourselves and move on. That's all you can really do. So let's go ahead and grab the Bicycle Fire deck, Elements deck, right? And let's see what's really going on here behind the scenes, right? We have the Six of Pentacles, spreading yourself thin, or somebody spreading themselves all around, something like that. I don't know. Whoa, that's a big jumble of cards. I think it's too much. Yeah, it's too much. So we have somebody wants to come back. They're not collaborating with others anymore. They don't want to take a leap of faith. They don't want to be honest, and they're not going to tell you the truth. That's all of that in a nutshell. Okay, I'm not going to go over it. You can rewind and listen again, but it looks like we have someone here. We could be talking, and I do have cross watchers. You could flip-flop it, whatever, but somebody here was a cheater. They deceived you. They lied to you. And their communication is all lies too. So that's what I'm seeing so far. Let me just shut this door. Still going to hear it a little bit, but it's okay. So, turn on the light. I don't know if that's any better, but. So let's go ahead and find out about the Six of Pentacles, right? Because that was too many cards. Tell us something more about this Six of Pentacles. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Pentacles. Single and abundant and can take care of yourself, right? That's what that is. It's also the Hermit card, and that's the card of being alone, going into healing, helping yourself, healing yourself, doing it alone, independence, right? Now, in the reverse, we have somebody here who is not independent. They rely on you, and they want to come back because they see you have something, and they want to mooch off you again. They're going to lie to you again. They're going to cheat on you again. That's why it's so important to not accept this person or people back. Yeah. Maybe you're seeing this reading because I need to trigger you into thinking, like get over this because they want to come back and try to mooch off you again. Oh, but it's my family. It doesn't matter if it's your family, right? You can love them at a distance, but they don't need to be all in your business or asking you for money or this, that, and the other, especially if you're doing well, because I kind of feel like somebody here wants to come back. We have a Queen of Pentacles reverse, who is not very honest, who refuses to go inward and heal herself, right? And, Seven of Cups energy, she may have a lot of options, which means maybe she does, go around with a lot of people. And she's trying to move forward towards you. She is constantly looking back, though, at the past. So this is telling me that this is somebody who doesn't want to heal. They keep looking back at it, but they're not doing anything about it. Right? And here you are, possibly. Queen of Wands. You're looking back, too, but you're in the upright. You're passionate. You help people. You don't, ruffle feathers. Well, maybe you do, maybe you don't. But I don't think that you're willing to deal with this person, right? This person could have legal troubles also with that Seven of Cups there, that meaning law enforcement or the legal system. That card's also the Chariot moving forward. It's also the card of Cancer, could be dealing with the Cancer. But this person it doesn't have it all together. They sure don't. This person, Queen of Pentacles in reverse, is somebody who is kind of greedy, stingy type, right? Somebody who doesn't share, somebody who doesn't care about anybody, somebody who is just an all-around selfish person. And if you know someone like that, then you know who we're talking about. Somebody who doesn't want to fix themselves, right? They want everything to be fixed for them. You know what I mean? That's not the way to go. So let's go ahead and find out about this Five of Cups right here. And the Five of Cups is sad over the loss of a relationship. So you could have actually ended this relationship. You could have been the one that saw the truth. You got heartbroken. You shared everything, every moment, all your spare time with this person. You took care of them, and then boom, they screwed you over. With this Ace of Wands here, this could also tell me if this is the energy of her, maybe your passions were too much. And, you know, because in the reverse, the Ace of Wands is in the reverse is anger. And if this is, but she's so nice, or they're so nice, well, maybe that's what it is then. Queen of Wands upright, sharing too much passion, maybe? Having a lot of options, maybe? She could be a very beautiful person and uses her looks or whatever to attract people. She or he, all right? Because you could be like a man watching this, and this could be who you're dealing with. Or you could be a woman watching, and you could be dealing with a man that's like that. You know, you put everything on the line for them. You help them, you clothe them, you feed them, you love them, and they didn't do you right. And look, also the case could be you're still single. So you could even be with somebody for a long time and they never ask you for engagement or to take this commitment to a higher level. They've just been mooching off you. You know? We have the Five of Cups here. Sad over the loss of this relationship. And it is sad. If you put all this effort into it and you got nothing in return, it is sad. You know, your heart was sad. You thought this was the one. You thought this person would have your back, would be by your side. You and only you. Monogamous relationship, right? I don't think it was monogamous. I think somebody was sleeping around or getting other people involved somehow, some way, right? One more card for this Five of Cups. So, you know, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Swords again. So this is you now. So you are sad over the loss of this relationship, but this person, I don't know. I don't think that person was good for you. Yeah, try your best to get over it. Don't let them live rent-free in your mind. That's what they want. They want you to be sad. They want you to come crawling back. No, don't do it. Leave them alone. Cut them out. Cut them out. It looks like you will, because we have the Two of Swords here, and the Two of Swords here is the final outcome in this situation. And it looks like you will, but, you know, what are you waiting for? So we have the Five of Wands right here, and this is about devil energy also, conflict. So there could be someone who is codependent. You could have been codependent on this person. It doesn't actually have to mean money. It could also mean codependent because of emotional satisfaction, whatever, right? But the problem here is there may have been drugs and alcohol involved too. And that's where you really got to watch out. Especially if you're not really a drug and alcohol person, and then this person comes into your life and then they introduce it to you and then you start doing it together, and then it's just like, you're ruining your body, you're ruining your health, all that stuff. So you're sad possibly because maybe you did go through that. Now the best thing to do is to get that into the reverse. It's in the upright, so you could still have addictions in this time, right? Because as we move on, you could be getting over it. But in this time, it looks like you may have addictions now, thanks to this person. Waiting for your ships to come in. And that's where it could be that you're waiting to heal from this. So you could be going to rehab, or, you know, maybe you have a strong will and you can just stop it cold turkey. Depending on what you're using, I mean, some people can do it, some people cannot. But there is time in between. And when I see this Three of Cups here, third-party situation, you may actually have to go to a rehab and get help by a third party. Now, the third party doesn't always have to be bad. It's just another group or person or people who are helping, right? Or who are involved, right? And this could be like rehab energy, like I need more help. I can't do this alone. It could even be like support groups or AA or NA or any of those things, right? Support groups to help you. And when you start to when you start going to those groups, right, you will meet other people. And then they will probably, motivate you to get over this, and that you don't need that drink or you don't need that drug. Maybe somebody might be like, hey, let's go walking in the park. And then you end up becoming friends with that person. That walk turns into jogging and then exercising and then going to the gym and then getting real healthy, And then who knows? Maybe you can start a relationship. Who knows? You never know. But it's your choice. You have to make a choice. And you can't be Two of Swords in reverse and ignore that idea. So let's find out about this Two of Swords. Now, this is about cutting them out. Making the decision to cut them out. You're like, you know what? Mona is right. I'm going to go out and go for a walk. I'm going to go out and enjoy me time, right? Look at that. 10 of Pentacles right out the gate, right? What else? Okay, we have a King of Pentacles reverse. Now, this could be you or another person, or it could be your energy. And the King of Pentacles in reverse is a criminal. And so what I'm feeling here is you want longevity, but you can't get that if you're with a criminal. So the person you were with could have been doing criminal things, lying, cheating, stealing, even drug use. Yeah. But if you want this, what are you going to do with this person? This person is a criminal, whoever you're dealing with. This person could have been in jail, prison, whatever. This person gets their money by criminal means. Lying, cheating, stealing, right? Let me get one more so we can kind of figure out. Okay, the Ace of Wands. So what I'm feeling here is you could have been dealing with someone who's like criminal, right? Criminal energy. And they were after you because you had some sort of abundance. You were the person that could probably have taken care of them for the rest of their lives, whatever was being thought of right here. But I think you're realizing that the person you were dealing with is a criminal. And the Ace of Wands here, this is a strength card too. And that's telling me that you need to be strong in this situation. You need to get away from this person because you don't want to be involved in their criminal activity, right? If you stick around this person, I don't foresee any kind of positivity coming out or coming through in your life. If you separate yourself from the criminals or the negative people or the people that bring it down or talk down on you, you will become stronger and you will be able to separate yourself from this situation because I see the scissors there. You can cut these people out of your life. Person, place, or thing, whatever it is that's causing you this mental puzzle, like you don't know what's going on, but you do. That's what I'm saying. You could have even had a friend tell you like, hey, that person's not good for you. I saw them doing this, that, and the other, but you didn't listen. Don't worry. I never listened either. I've had plenty of people tell me that certain particular individuals weren't good for me. They weren't right. They were terrible. But I didn't listen because I had the rose-colored glasses on. That's why. It took me to get completely away from this person, place, or thing, whatever, to realize the truth. So at the bottom of the deck, yeah, look at that. The Five of Wands right there, or Five of Swords right there. This person is a liar. They were scheming, scamming, and planning to get something from you. And it's not love either. It wasn't love. But because it's a 50-50 card, it's also in the reverse. And in the reverse, this is about, I realize the truth now. I can see clear. I see what's going on. And yes, they were using me. So next we have the Five of Pentacles. Somebody's like, you know what? I'm worried that I'm going to be alone. Don't worry about that. You're never alone. If you have a strong faith, or if you have any kind of faith, you're not alone. I'm looking outside because I see a big bug flying by. It's like that big. I thought it was a bird or like a hummingbird, but it's a bug. This person could even be bugging you at times, right? Oh, what are you doing? Just trying to get back in your head. Are you still mad at me? You know what? Block the call. That's their tactic to get in to your head again. Don't let them do it. Because you know the truth. You know the truth here, right? It's all come to the surface and now you see it. So you're worried about being alone. I'd rather be alone than to be around criminals or toxic people. You know what I'm saying? And it does look like you're ready to walk away from that feeling. You're ready to take this advice and just get away from them. Come on. That's just logic, you know, common logic, common sense. Get away from the toxic people. Don't associate with them. Don't deal with them. You don't need them. Knight of Pentacles, the Fool, the Ace of Swords. At the bottom of the deck, once again. So some people out there might take a leap of faith and walk away. Some people out there might take a leap of faith and stay because this person is manipulating you into taking them back. I hope not. But I do see a lot of people are like, I am not going to deal with you anymore. The Fool in reverse, Joker in reverse. I'm not going to deal with you anymore. I don't want you. If anything, I'm going to take a leap of faith for myself. And I'm going to walk away. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles, and this is the slowest moving knight in the deck, right? And this is telling me it may have taken you a really long time to figure this out. Eventually that knight gets to you, but that message gets to you, right? The knights are messenger cards. So it may have taken you a long time to receive this message, but at least you got it, right? At least you got it. And you may take a leap of faith away from whatever this is. You're like, you know what? I don't need this. I'm better than that. I'm smarter than that. I want to be healthy again. I want to be happy again. And I feel like you're going to walk away from this mess. And then the Ace of Swords, that's a card of truth. It's in the upright. That is the truth. You will do better to walk away from any kind of toxic people, places, and things or situations. Or just don't associate with them anymore. It's a big world. There's plenty of places to go. Even if it's in your own neighborhood. You know, go camping. Go to the park. Get away. Just because you live somewhere doesn't make it absolutely positively vital for you to communicate with everyone around you. Maybe you're a private person, so just keep being private. You know what I mean? So we do have the Ace of Pentacles, and it does look like a new start for you. So it's like, it's kind of like you took the advice, you're walking away from these crazies, right? And you're starting over. And that's the best thing that you can do for right now. And as time passes, you know, you will get better. You will get healthier. Your mind will become clearer. It's good for you. But that's just my opinion, right? All I can do is give you opinions or advice of stuff. Whether you do it or not, that's on you. I can't be responsible for any decisions that you make from watching a video, because this is just a reading. It's just a story that'll resonate because that's how the cards were devised. If you know how to play Mad Libs, you could probably read tarot. You guys remember Mad Libs, right? Kind of game that you got to do a little thinking with. If you can do that, the Mad Libs, you can do tarot. You just have to study, that's all. And depending on how far you take your studies will allow you to understand this better also. Because I just wanted to understand everything, right? Because I didn't want to fool anybody when I was reading tarot cards. I didn't want anybody to be misled. I didn't want to fake anybody. I only use the knowledge that I know to help others, and I never claim that these are messages from God or any kind of... I mean, I have in the past, and you can find those readings. You could probably find those readings from years back, because I just leave them there. But because I took it in the right direction, my life has improved since then. You know? You do the right thing, and good things happen right back to you. Cause and effect. And sometimes it takes time to figure things out. But when you do, good things will happen. If you don't, that's a karma thing. You know, that's karma. Misleading people. Using divinity to capitalize on people. Like, that's not, no. You should never feel ashamed. It's kind of like you go to church and they're passing out that plate. Oh, you have to put money in the plate if you want to, you know, be saved. No. No one should ever look at anybody because they don't want to put one penny in that plate. Because you can speak to whoever you believe in, whatever, whoever, in the privacy of your own home. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that. So, okay, we have the Ace of Pentacles here. Let's find out what that is. And if you're new to trying to figure out like religion and all that stuff, like I was in the past, because I wanted to know the truth, I needed to know about everything and anything I could, right? Do your own study. You know? Read yourself. Go find out yourself. Compare. Contrast. You know? See who you can believe and who you can't believe, right? Because who you can believe is yourself, for sure, right? Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. New start in regards to your emotional health, right? You could be somebody who is starting to love themselves. Maybe because you didn't love yourself in the past, you couldn't get things off the ground, your emotions were scattered all over the place, didn't know how to deal with anything, couldn't keep it together. But some people out there will understand that that's not the way to go, and the way to go is to love yourself and respect yourself, right? Ace of Cups. So yeah, well, we're starting out here. It's kind of weird, all right, but well, let me figure it out. The Ace of Pentacles is a new start, a new stable start, right? And you can get there by Six of Pentacles reverse. Not spreading yourself thin anymore, not giving yourself to two and you're going to start working on yourself. You're going to start doing whatever you're going to do for yourself, right? That's what this card means. I'm not telling you to do anything, right? But that's what the card is displaying right here. The new start will happen when you stop, you know, trying to do this and that for everyone else and start focusing on yourself, right? It doesn't matter right now what anybody thinks about you. You shouldn't care. As long as you're doing right for yourself and rising for yourself, you shouldn't care what anybody thinks or says. Because it's showing me here also that you were dealing with a karmic. We have the Four of Wands in the reverse. And this is usually like the karmic card, the lesson card. Because it's also referred to as the 1111 card, because if you write 1111 on a piece of paper and you flip it upside down, it is still 1111. The only difference is when it's upright, that's the way to go. But when it's reversed, this is a lesson. And 1111 represents enlightenment, realization, new cycles, new beginnings, right? And when you figure out that whoever you are with or dealing with is not for you, that's when things start to happen. Because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to figure it out. You know that you're not good around people who are toxic. The glasses need to come off. The rose-colored glasses need to come off. By this time, I think they do, though. They really do. And then we have the 8 of Swords. And this could represent being trapped in the confines of your own mind. And this is what you could have been. This could also represent jail. You could also realize, like, yeah, that person, they've been in a jail for so many years, in prison, whatever. I've never done anything like that or been, why am I with this person, right? That could be another thing too. And we already know that whoever you're dealing with, male or female, doesn't matter, is a criminal. They are not a law-abiding citizen or person. Ooh. I just got a creepy thought. Have you guys ever seen that movie, A Law-Abiding Citizen? Oh my gosh. You should see that. It's scary though. So watch it with somebody and maybe during the day. But yeah, I'm telling you. So somebody, I mean, shoot, I don't know why that popped into my head. Be careful. You could be dealing with some kind of strange person. I don't want to go into the movie, but yeah. You know? It's kind of, you know, it's interesting because we are talking about a law-abiding citizen, and you might be a law-abiding citizen. Why are you with someone like that? I kind of feel like if you're with someone like that, your the way you look at yourself is not very good. You know, low self-esteem. People like this, the criminal types, they go after all kinds of people who've got self-esteem issues, they got trauma issues, things like that, right? The way that people look at themselves, a lot of these people go after heavy women who are not very attractive, or they don't take care of themselves, whatever. That's a target to these type of people. Yeah. And, you know, and they might have even told you, oh, you'll never get anybody better than me. What? How? You know, how? How can you say that? Because you probably have had people better than that person. But maybe you're at a low right now. You kind of let yourself go a little bit, and this person saw you as a target. Be careful. We got good actors out there preying on people with low self-esteem, men or women who aren't that, you know, attractive or whatever. Depending on what you think attractive is, it doesn't matter. You know, some people don't go for looks. Some people go for how you treat me, right? That's what we should be looking for. And somebody here may have been like, you know, somebody who kind of buttered you up, you know, told you all kind of things you wanted to hear. And that's how they know, by your reaction. And then it's like, I gotcha. They gotcha. Be careful of people who try to come in and blow you up and all that stuff. Because like I said, we got good actors out here. All right. Let's get some stars. All right. These are just the easiest things to get to. I always leave them on the table, so might as well. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. Lately I've been doing it. Now let's just see what's going on, okay? Suspicious. Okay? You could be, in the beginning, you could have been suspicious to this person having a lot of options. But it's like you didn't care because they said nice things to you. Oh, I love you. Anybody can tell you they love you even when they hate you. Anybody can look you in the eye, because I've heard people say, look me in the eye and tell me. I can look anyone in the eye and tell them what I'm thinking. And we have people who can look other people in the eye and straight out lie to their face. So don't even just, that thought, put it out of your mind. It ain't true. Rude. This person could have been very rude to you towards, if you ask them for help, or, why are you so distant, or where are you going, or, you know what I mean? Like they'll start a fight with you so they can leave. And where do they go? They go to that other person or other people. That's how it all starts. They try to start fights with you so they can leave and go to their side chick or side dude or side person. They start to be rude and you're like, that's rude. Oh, you want to fight with me? Blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to leave, and then where do they go? That's where they go. Shocking. I feel like this person will be shocked when you finally say, I'm done. When you make a choice and you tell this criminal person, I'm done with you. I don't want you anymore. They'll be shocked. Shocking revelation. Tower moment energy, right? Do it. You don't need them. You don't need these people, person, relationships. You don't need them. They might be real shocked that you say, I'm good, I'm done, please lose my number or whatever, right? Don't come here anymore, right? And the final one is negative. People might look at you as a negative. Oh, you're negative. You're mean. You're not fun anymore. You're not. No, you just love yourself now. That's what it is. You just love yourself now. You're not negative. You just don't want to deal with them anymore. You know they're a bad person. And you don't want to deal with. If anybody's negative, it's these people trying to put you down. No one's going to like you anymore. No one's going to. So, you know what I mean? So, I got dogs, I got cats, I got birds, I got pets. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what I have for you guys. Hopefully you got something out of this. If you're heartbroken, don't let that person live rent-free in your mind, okay? Screw that person. You can do so much better than them. You don't need anyone like that. And watch, when you get better, things will start happening for you. And you're going to be like, oh my God, all I needed to do was get away from these toxic people, places, and things. That's all I needed to do. But you know what? Don't be too hard on yourself, because you're not the only person going through this. And shoot, you could have gotten over it quicker than many. Yeah. So be proud of yourself that you finally figured it out. You know what I'm saying? Be proud that you figured it out. That is a blessing. Okay? Anyways, that's all I have for you guys. If it resonated, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Also, keep it true love energy. Happy, friendly, loving types. We have nothing to fear as long as we as long as we stay calm and cheerful, right? All right, guys. I'm Mona. It's Kaleidoscope Dreams Tarot, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.